I know like China. I remember Nigeria. Mosquito and malaria. Organ don't got the light. But we still be their father. One punch, one die, everything you don't cast one. You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. We're going to have some fun tonight like we do every show. We're going to be talking about the 2015 season. Lewis has got a lot to say about the 2015 season and the point of view that I think he's going to convince people that the world might be flat. With no further ado, though, we're going to keep it moving, get everybody introduced. We're going to also talk about some of these rumors because there's a lot of crazy, silly things happening. You know, it's been a long time that I see somebody try to marry themselves or a motorcycle, so that was pretty cool to see. We're going to chop it up and see what that's about. My name is Rex45. TJ, man, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. We got racing ahead of us, testing tomorrow, and World Superbike starting. The season's here, so
I got one question for you. You have your protest banner ready because Bill Belichick didn't make the first time to get into the Hall of Fame. I think Eagles fan might have had something to do with it, but we'll see what Reese got to say in a minute. You a little bit upset about that?
I mean, as long as he gets in there, that's all. That's all that matters to me. I mean, it is kind of disrespectful of like what he's done, where he just wasn't considered, his first ballot Hall of Famer. But I don't know who's really voting, so we'll see. I'm just worried about getting another ring. Hopefully, we can get one this weekend.
No doubt. Hopefully, man. 50 people get to decide who gets in that thing. Lawrence Taylor was pretty upset about that. I might have to ask the Giant fan when I talk to Lewis and see. What's going on, Reese, man? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. You had something to do with Bill Belichick not getting in the Hall of Fame?
Nah, it had nothing to do with that, man. And that's above my pay grade. I'll stay on the low 10. You ain't gonna come after me. I don't need ice and all them and people coming after me. I'm staying out of that site.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's funny how people play with other people's lives. What's good, man? Welcome back, man. A few weeks off. Testing is great. All that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm just back out working regularly, and testing's done for now. We still got a couple more coming up. I think like 4 or 5 more. Mm-hmm. And season's right here. It's on upon us. It's time to get it going.
All right, no doubt. Listen, man, we're waiting. I mean, you get to hear the inside stuff. We on the outside just waiting for for the weekend to start. So, it's like waiting for a new pair of Jordans to come out.
Yo, you ain't lying, man. And with all these, a lot of people talk about how Superbike is, dead or is, man, we counted the Superbike grid. I mean, there's 13 guys on the Superbike, and out of that 13, I mean, there's a handful of guys. I don't want to say at least 8 to 9 guys that's going to be up there in the top front running. So it's going to be a dogfight, man. We were saying this is the closest thing you're going to get back to the old AMA days right here. This is it.
Okay, all right, that's what's up. We're gonna talk about that, man. Lewis, listen, man. I mean, you got to be happy with Lawrence Taylor saying, if Bill Belichick can't get in the Hall of Fame, this football thing can't be real. We can't take it seriously. This Hall of Fame.
No, I 100% agree with that, man. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm originally a Giants fan. That's what I grew up watching. So every time the Giants would crush the spirits of everybody in New England, I would have a little extra spring in my step that year. Yeah. But with that said, you can't deny what the man did the time he was there. He took a team that was a good team and he made them a dynasty for, how many years? I mean, well over a decade. These guys were kind of like the perennial favorites in the AFC East. They would, I don't know how many AFC division titles they won, but I mean, there's a reason that Tom Brady and him are walking around, I think, with 8 rings.
But he did get one with you guys. With Lawrence.
Yeah, but we also crushed a couple of their dreams. So as long as he doesn't have like the full Thanos 12, knowing that the Giants kept 2 rings out of his hands, I sleep good.
Okay. All right. No doubt. Now, listen, it's 50 people, man. Sometimes there's only one person that can really change somebody's lives. And we're going to talk about that because, for a time it was Rossi, and then for a time it was Marquez. You know what I'm saying? One dude, as far as motorcycle racing, as far as world MotoGP anyway, but, in every sport, there's like one or two guys that make it difficult for a lot of other people. And
always a spoiler, man. There's always somebody out there looking to spoil it. And sometimes they don't even know they're doing it, but they're doing it.
Yeah.
And they just fly under the radar,
No doubt. And we're gonna talk about that when we talk about GP in 2015, because rewatching 2015, you like anything, you pick up things you don't see the first time, and so forth. So, and it's like I've heard Lorenzo's comment recently, and it's just like when you rewatch it and look at it, it's just kind of like, well, yeah, you were fastest at some of the tracks, but not all the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see. But let's talk about some of the rumors. Bezzecchi, which is the biggest one. Dainese, which is huge because everybody wants this tuxedo motorcycle suit now. I mean, that many people want to marry their bike, apparently.
It's a cool suit, man. I mean, I give him that. I've seen tuxedo suits before. The thing is, you've never seen a tuxedo suit on a MotoGP rider and the full production that Aprilia put into it. Like Aprilia's PR team really went all out on this program. I knew, or I had heard rumors about possibly something like this happening, but I didn't know it was going to happen, when it was going to happen. So when I woke up this morning and I looked at my WhatsApp, the internal WhatsApp, and I saw the pictures, I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And then when Aprilia started dropping first the still images and then the full, like I think it's like a 3.5-minute video of like the full ceremony, and I was just like, yeah, this is the kind of fun stuff that, this is kind of the paddock stuff that people don't see. Like people think that everybody in the paddock is like these stuffy business guys.
Right.
It's just it's a track day with a lot of money is what these guys are doing. Right. So they still have a ton of fun when they're doing these events. Yeah, and I'm glad that Aprilia got their moment to shine with the little viral moment. But I think it's cool because I was hoping that this contract would get settled quickly because everybody kind of knew Bezzecchi was going to stay with Aprilia. But now it's known he's going to be with Aprilia till 28. And I honestly think he'll be with Aprilia beyond that because I believe there's some extra clauses in there that can kind of even add an additional 2 years to this contract.
Right. Yeah, I think he could be the next Max Biaggi for Aprilia. TJ, what do you think about the suit, the cleverness of it? It's nice to see it that much fun in the MotoGP paddock again, and to convince that many high-powered people to go along with it. Is it a good thing for guys to know that they can go marry their bike, or is it a good thing for guys to know they can get a 2-year marriage?
I mean, it's a good thing that you can go marry your bike. He's setting trends right now, and I don't know who's going to top this. Like, this is a clever way to go into a new era. Saying that he's committed, and shout out to Dainese pulling off a spectacular suit. I mean, that suit's pretty nice. Like, I'm sure somebody's going to want to ride in the tuxedo suit now. So it's a nice idea, and Bezzecchi is definitely a top rider and definitely improving. So, like, I'm excited to see what he's going to do going into 2026 and 2027, because I was definitely rooting for him last year. And I know Martin got a girlfriend, but I'm sure he's jealous.
Yeah. I think so. And, at the Saparano race, there was a guy in a suit, looking like an overall. But what Bezzecchi did is a class act, right? And he's showing how classy he is, and he's showing what he's bringing to MotoGP, and have a little bit of fun at the same time. So I agree. I think Dainese is going to be selling this kind of suit, and we just got to see what the wedding dress is going to look like. What are your thoughts on them signing Bez for another 2 years, signing them for 2 years before the season even start. Because once upon a time, it was like, mid-season, we were waiting for the summer break before contracts started, getting rolled out. But now, they apparently, they got money to spend.
I mean, my idea is just like, if you are one of the top riders, you want to get locked in as soon as you can, I mean, I think it was smart from the position he's in to go ahead and feel confident that he can help develop Aprilia. But yeah, I think it's smart just to get that out the way so he can focus on 2026, and then 2027 he's already set in stone. Yeah, so you don't want to be that last couple of riders still fighting while the season's going on, trying to get a contract.
No doubt, no doubt. Reese, what are your thoughts, man? You've been in this game for a long time. Did you and your boys or you and the staff get a kick out of seeing something like this? And does that spark any kind of like, oh, well, what are we going to do when we do this? What are we going to do when we do that? Because it was fun to see. And I haven't seen something like that since really the Rossi days and doing the silliness with Biaggi and some of these other riders when, he was winning championships and having these skits, for lack of a better word.
I mean, it was fun to see. I mean, be honest. I mean, he beat me to the punch because I was always the one younger saying, I wish I could just marry my wife. It'd be a lot easier than marrying a woman, but I marry my wife. But, they don't ask for much. They don't argue, nothing. They ain't got to hear the arguments. It's a lot easier. But it was fun to see. It was something different. I mean, it's like the old Rossi days. I mean, that's how I got into watching Rossi. Just always wanted to see something, what he was going to do at the end of the race or what kind of skit he was going to do for that win. So, I mean, that was something nice to see. And like TJ said, I mean, it's just get the signing and get it all done with so you can focus on this season. And with the new era coming up in the 27, now you can focus on a whole new project.
Right. No doubt there. Let's bring everyone in. Guys, do you think that Aprilia gave him enough cash to keep him happy, or you think they wanted to sign them so they're trying to catch a bigger fish? We start with Lewis, man.
I think every company has like their top priority. So like Ducati, I think Marquez is their top priority. Aprilia, I think Bez was their top priority. KTM, I think Acosta is like every manufacturer, every factory team has those top priorities that they want to try to lock in. And obviously Aprilia didn't want to take the chance of somebody else trying to scoop up Bezzecchi after the season he had last year. I mean, he was phenomenal on the bike. He was able to develop the bike in a way that it really hasn't moved before. I mean, Pol Espargaro, I'll be very honest with you. I mean, Aleix Espargaro is actually a very, very good development rider. There was a reason why he was with Aprilia for so long and why the project came along so well over the years. Even though he didn't get to win many times, he did help develop that bike over a very long period of time. But Bezzecchi was able to take it to that next step. That, whatever reason, Alexei kind of hit his threshold, couldn't go past it, and Bezzecchi went past it. Bezzecchi won multiple races in 1 year, was competitive almost the entire second half of the year, really took it to mark, went from, at one point, I think he was like 7th in the championships and finished 3rd in the championship. Right. So, I mean, he leapfrogged a lot of guys. When they started to suffer, he was just there, knocking on the door. So I think it's good that they did this because I hate, I hate to say deserve it, because nobody deserves it. You negotiate for it, but he negotiated by what he did on the track. He didn't negotiate it in the news. He didn't negotiate it in the media, saying, "Oh, if this team don't hire me, you're gonna see what they're missing." He went out there. He did the work. Aprilia saw the work and realized, you know what, we need to lock this guy in before somebody else comes and scoops him up, because somebody else is going to want to scoop him up.
Right.
He's a young guy. He's got a lot of talent. And I think his ceiling is still very much higher than what he is now. I think he still has a lot more in reserve. And with the right bike and the right team, he's going to keep growing over years. I mean, this is why I think Aprilia wants to lock him in now. Maybe lock him in, like you said, long time. He might be this generation's Aprilia Max Biaggi.
I agree. TJ, man, What does that mean for Jorge Martin? You think that he's going to re-sign? I know we're hearing rumors that he's going other places and all that, but I'm trying to think. It's like
You gotta earn it out here, man.
it's like Antonio Brown signing to Tampa. You know what I'm saying? 1 year was great. Second year, not so much. Antonio Brown was out of the league after that. And you would think that Martin would want to sign back with Aprilia. That would be like the right thing to say. Look, man, I didn't finish what I started the second half of this year. I'm gonna try to match what Bezzecchi did his first year. That's a good benchmark to aim for and even surpass that. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen to Martin?
I mean, he needs to be more humble. I mean, like his demeanor on certain things, he's trying to tell the manufacturers what he wants to do. When you gotta earn it. I mean, he did win a championship. He definitely fought really hard the year before that, almost won it, and he was on a Ducati, one of the best bikes. So now that he's switching up, he did get hurt. Like, it's a reset for himself. He's just got to come back to reality, understand the situation, and it's not just going to be handed over to him like, hey, all right, we're going to make you the best rider. Like, you still got to prove yourself.
Right.
And I don't think he's in jeopardy, but he needs to look at this situation like Aprilia. We're doing good things, and I'm here to try to be better than Bezzecchi, and we can be the best constructive, manufacturer. So, he got to look up and try to get his, feet back together and be in shape, ready for the season. Because the past 2 seasons, it wasn't that well.
Right. Let me see if I can get my my clicking the right buttons right. Reese, man, it's probably when people got the same initials. But you have a bird's eye view from what's happening. Do you look at the situation with Bezzecchi? Because I don't think Bezzecchi gets enough respect. I was looking at their stats earlier, their overall stats, and it's like I'm seeing Quartararo sign like some $50 million deal. But when you look at the win-loss column, they all right there touching each other. How do you look at this is a good look for Bezzecchi signing where Martin is? Do you think that as you heard Lewis say, it's what you negotiate? You're hoping that Bezzecchi negotiated a salary like a Quartararo, because honestly, when you look at their stats on paper, it's just kind of like, how's this dude worth 15? And I mean, he got the one world title, obviously, but outside of that, how is he commanding 17? And Bezzecchi should be grateful for getting a factory seat.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, like Lewis said, he negotiated the seat. When your A rider was hurt, he stepped up and filled that void. When he stepped up to fill the void, he didn't do it, where he wanted to be in the media, he wanted to talk bad, or he just let his riding do his talking. He stepped up, he wanted to do, and he stepped up and just kept knocking at the door, kept going each round. And then you're up there with the top guy, almost one of the great ones of a Marquez, and he's out there pushing him to the limit, beating him. So, I mean, at that point, you have to give it to him, because he helped develop your bike. He helped put your bike on top when the rider you gave a crap ton of money to was kicking you in your back, kicking you in your back and everything else. I mean, at this point, if that was me and I'm on the team and I'm the guy and I'm like, I wouldn't even want to resign Jorge. Like, for what? So you can kick us down again? No, we're good. Finish your contract and get out.
Don't want to honor obligations.
I mean, you wanted to take us to court for whatever odd reason. You got obligations that you signed on the dotted line that you need to finish, and you want to leave.
Yeah. Hey, I
just don't do that.
It would be much better if you put the time in. It's like Mike Tomlin. The Steelers are offering whatever he wants because he put the time in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He earned that, and they rewarded him. Martin hasn't been rewarded, hasn't earned anything, but he's he
I mean, he's earned a couple of hospital bills.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's trying to. I mean, he already got a title, so it's kind of why not make a home for yourself? It's to me, it's kind of weird because like you didn't get a chance to prove yourself, and this bike finished in the top 3, and you didn't get, and you're looking to go somewhere else. It's kind of weird that you don't want to to be like, all right, 26. This is gonna be my year to be top 3, if not better.
Right. I mean, I have a little saying about that. I mean, personally, coming from the inside, I mean, the years that you were good on Ducati, you and the equipment were here. The rest of the equipment from anybody else was back here. The riders were up here, but the equipment couldn't match their riding style. So when you won that championship, you were on the best equipment at that time. So now that a rider that is better than you has matched your skill level, has surpassed your skill level, but the equipment has matched up, you can't touch him, which is a Marquez. And, so now you're riding not the top equipment on the paddock. Now you're talking about, I can't ride it. I don't want to do it. I want to get out of here. So that just, to me, that tells me you can ride, but you're not as good as you thought you were.
Yeah, it seems like it because a Pro Year was top 3, so it's kind of weird that you would go to Yamaha or Honda and expect to do something better. That doesn't compute. But Lewis, I'll let you jump in and tell us about the rumors that we've missed because I know your ear is so close to the ground. What do you want to start with, man?
I don't know. It's still early in the season, so there's still a lot of rumors swirling. It's hard to believe everything that's out there. So obviously, one of the rumors is that Pecco is pretty much out of Ducati. He's trying to find a home either with Aprilia or with Honda. Okay. Some people are even saying possibly with Yamaha because the other rumor is Quartararo says that there's only conversations going on with Honda, but other people say that it's signed, sealed, and delivered that he's going to be at Honda. So now if he's going to go to Honda, who's going to leave Honda? Is it Miro Marini? So there's just so many seats moving around. KTM is saying they want a Costa, but at the same time, the VR46 team is saying that they have a Costa. And then some people are saying that he's going directly to the factory team if Pecco leaves. So, it's just strings going from here to there. Like every rider's going somewhere.
All right.
I think it's easier to list the guys that are going to be out of a job.
All right.
Who's going to be a job?
We'll save that for part 2. We'll start with TJ. Who you want, Quartararo or Pecco? Where should either of them go? We'll start with TJ. Who you gonna pick? And then Reese, you can pick the other person, and I'll leave. Either I'll take the third, Acosta, or whoever is left. So who you gonna pick, TJ?
I mean, I'll say Quartararo because he's been promised a better bike, and they switched to the V4, and it's still not as strong. But Honda has been developing, and they also have the V4, so I feel like they want him, and they've been paying Marc Marquez as well, so they're looking for a pole setter.
Marc Marquez, come on, man, come on.
No, not at all. But I'm just saying, they're looking for a rider that can, possibly longevity, and maybe Quartararo is their new guy. So I figured that would happen over Pecco, but we'll see.
So you think it'll be a good look for Quartararo to leave Yamaha at this point and go Honda? I guess Honda.
I mean, if it was for the 2027, he's gonna have to decide soon. You gotta wait till this testing tomorrow to see what's going on with this V4. But he's the one that speaks in the meeting and kind of speaks his mind, opposed to the other riders that let things happen. So he's at this point in his career where you got to make that move because he's running out of time.
Okay, all right. I mean, I think Lewis, TJ is rubbing off on you. He's walking that fine line. You gotta wait and see. Depends. Reese, who you picking, man? Pecco, I know he's your guy. So where he gonna go? Oh, you want to talk about it?
That's your guy, but I'm gonna talk about Pekka. I mean, with Pekka, first things first. We're going into 27, right? Where are you going? That's my key. Everybody's moving around. Technically, it's not moving for a better bike.
You're right.
You're moving for a bag. Let's keep it honest. Let's keep it a spade a spade. You're moving for a bag because at 27, everybody starts from ground zero. Yeah. So you don't know who's going to be a better bike. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's going to be a better bike right now. It's a whole different bike. So, but I mean, if we're talking about Pekka, I mean, for him to leave Ducati, I think it's kind of crazy. Because that bike is proven, the team is proven. They got a lot of backing. I mean, a hell of a lot of backing with that Volkswagen group and Lambo and everything else.
Well, Petrucci said, "Hey, nobody called me." he went to KTM, so maybe Ducati ain't calling Pecco.
I don't know.
Navi said the same thing. Matter of fact.
I mean, but Pekka has championships, though. That's the only thing. He has some championships. He had the number one place a couple years.
Bro, don't get me go back to the beginning of the season and said, why would you sign Marquez when this dude got 2 championships? And I know why, but he would have won this year, maybe.
Pekka? No, he wouldn't have.
But
he'd have won most crashes.
But you know what I mean? It's weird for Ducati to sign a guy that won 2 championships, right? They usually would. In the past, they were bringing in people who either won it in World Superbike or AMA, or you start from ground zero and build up. So it was weird for them to sign Marquez. But anyway.
I mean, you're a Ducati guy, so I mean, you guys, Ducati is cutthroat. I mean, if you don't win, they want to cut your head off and send you out.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, what you done for me lately? So it's like, really? Come on, man. I won 2 championships.
Right.
And
I feel that's the reason why Pecco would want to leave, because he didn't feel like he's wanted, and he won them 2 championships after a long drought.
That's y'all. That's you and the red team over there. You know what I mean? Y'all, y'all little cult right there. Y'all got that little cult history, and it's like y'all exclusive.
I've already been on record stating my disapproval of the decisions that were made in the last year and a half. and so if it doesn't work out, because the crazy thing is this, I was thinking about this after watching the 2015 season, and it's just kind of like at one time Ducati had so many Italians on their bikes, and now we're going to be down to who? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird to see, and I can see why Biaggi might have said Aprilia is the only true Italian brand.
I mean, at this point, yeah, because if Pekka leaves, who do y'all have?
Yeah, that's it. Because Bagnaia or not Bagnaia, Morbidelli or the Gin is going to have to go.
Well, the Gin Antonio is going to stay. Morbidelli is going to go home. Or he's going to go to World Superbike. He's one of the people that Lou was talking about that who's going to be out, and he's probably one.
Again, man, looking at the stats, Morbidelli got more wins than did you? It's crazy. I know he's a dumbass last year. Looking at his stats, bro, Quartararo's been on the podium more than him, but Morbidelli got more wins. It's crazy.
And then from a business point, yes. But then from an also business point, who costs more money?
Yeah, but if you win, you make more money. If you come in 8th, you make less money. So you also got to
right. That. But then if you crash them swing arms or crashing them parts that costing $40,000 and $50,000, I'm like, God damn.
Right. Yeah, but if you give me 5 wins and the other guy gives me 7, 12 places, I'll let you crash a couple extra bikes, man. Yeah. When you crash it from 12th place, it hurts a lot more than when you crash it from 2nd place at the end of the day.
How many fines we got to put out for you doing dumb shit?
Yeah, but that's different. That's stupidity. There's no price tag on stupidity. It's priceless.
He got to pay that himself.
Yeah, he's definitely shooting himself in the foot. And the crazy part is his record is that good with him shooting himself in the foot. You know what I'm saying? It'd be one thing if he could have, but his record is really good and he's doing dumb-ish. So imagine if he didn't. I'll say it looks like Acosta. It sounds like Acosta is a done deal as far as going to Ducati, wherever he ends up. I mean, I think it's hard to say if it's a win for him. Because we don't know if we don't know what, as Henri said, we don't know what any of the bikes are going to do in 2027. So who knows who could win it that year? That's a year that they could steal it, like Mir did, or Quartararo did, that kind of thing. Some people may not argue he didn't steal it, but the pandemic was around, and it was troubling in times and stuff like that. But you got to show up, so it'll be interesting to see for sure. What else you got, Lewis?
Let me think. Who else are we talking about? I mean, right now on the Honda side, it's they locked in a couple of guys, but who's going to be gone from Honda? Is it going to be Mir or is it going to be Marini? I think Marini will probably be gone before Mir. Just because Mir is still a bigger name. Marini hasn't really proven himself, even though he'd had a great second half of last year. I think Honda's probably going to wait until the middle of the season to pick, because I don't think either one of them is a runaway favorite. But if I had to pick one to stay, it would be Mir. Pairing Mir with either Acosta or Martin would be great. But I would tell any manufacturer at this point, Martin is a talent, but he's like the hot chick that's probably going to cheat on you. Like, do you really want to take her out, man? Because she's probably going to do you dirty at some point.
And Luca only had like a couple of crashes last year, so
I think he had the least crashes of anybody, but he was also out for a few because of his crash at Suzuka. But when he came back from Suzuka, whatever they crashed him into, he got a way better at riding the bike, man. So maybe he needed a crash to get his mojo back, because after he came back from that incident, he was consistently top 8, top 7. I mean, he was there. So again, this also shows that the Honda's got a lot of progression versus the Yamaha, which in this first test actually went, what was it, a second and a half slower than it did last year on the inline 4. It's actually going slower on the V4. So, that's not the direction a new bike should be going. So this might be another reason why Quartararo is looking to hit the eject button as soon as possible.
But how much of that, we've talked about this. We've seen some riders take 6 months to get up to speed. We talked about Bezzecchi, how, second half of the season, he came into his own. We just had Luca came into his own after crashing, but, half a season or whatever the case may be. But
Quartararo's been on the Yamaha so long, man. At this point, it's like,
but
sometimes you just got to go.
It's still, still got to feel a little different. I feel like he should be given more room, saying, give me some more time to tell. And he's saying, I'm ready to go. And sometimes, it could be like a Kevin Garnett situation or some of these other guys that they just, they stayed too long.
And I think that's the situation with him. I think he was too loyal for too long to that one brand, thinking like, I'm going to be a legacy Yamaha person. But they just haven't had a bike that was competitive. And, this is a guy that wants to win, man. I still think Quartararo is one of, if not the best smooth rider in the paddock. I mean, the dude is silky.
Mm-hmm.
But, same thing with Marquez. That there comes a time that it's like, look, I've been loyal to this brand a long time. I've flown the company flag, but now I got to look out for myself. I can't just keep coming out here risking my life, because this isn't, we're not playing basketball here. Like, every time I put this helmet on, might be the last time I put this helmet on. I need to start making this count. I can't just be crashing or racing for 11th place, or the first 3 laps, I'm out front looking like I'm on fire, and by lap 5, I'm in 8th place, and I'm about to get passed by a rookie his first year on this shit box behind me, because the shit box I got is worse than the shit box he got. And I know I'm faster than his ass, but guess what, man? I'm on a shit box. That's why I said that little penguin being chased by that seal meme to everybody, because that's what Yamaha looks like. The first 3 laps, they out there flipping and flapping, thinking they get away, and that seal is just, I'm about to eat your ass, Joe.
You think go back to Honda, keeping Mir over Marini? numbers guy. So I think with the past 2 seasons Mayer had of how many crashes he had and bad luck, you would not project that going into next season. You would hope that wouldn't happen, opposed to saving money and having Marini after his development.
If I was Honda, honestly, I would wait for the first 5-6 events of the year and just see how things are going before I pull a trigger on either one of them. Because it's not like either one of them. Nobody's knocking on the door to get Mir or Marini right now. It's not like people are like kicking in the door like, I got to get Marini. I got to get him right now. Like, bro, there's like 8 other guys before Marini gets there.
I think KTM would pick up a Marini.
KTM can pick up anybody that's willing to ride that bike at this point, as long as they can get them for cheap, because they can't afford to pay people very much. But I think Honda's in the best position to give both of their guys a little time. I think VR46 is in a position that they can give both of their guys a little time. Ducati's not in that position. They got to lock Marquez in. Aprilia lock their guy in. And KTM, as much as they want to lock in Acosta, I just don't think it's going to happen, man. I think Acosta is ready to just pull the eject button on KTM altogether and find a whole new career somewhere.
Right. And I think that's going to be mostly on his age. I think it's one of those things like we've seen Zarco in the past said how he wish he would have handled situations differently. I think Acosta, if he does leave KTM, I think later in life he'll say he probably was a decision he wish he hadn't made because, you as you guys know, you have to weather the storm. If regular workers, regular people, what I'm saying, we got to weather the storm. We don't just get to go, we're not making the same bonus this year. Let me go. That's not an option.
I wish.
If I was Acosta, man, and again, I don't know his management team or anything like that, I would really consider not going to Ducati. Even though it's like considered the most competitive bike, you're a top rider. The last thing you want to do is be second fiddle to Marc Marquez.
Well, not even Mark. Sorry, not to cut you off, but not even
to Alex Marquez too. You're third fiddle
and Furman because
you're fourth fiddle.
He's just going down the list.
You're not even playing in the band. You hoping somebody get hurt so you could play in the band at that point. Because Furman, he's locked for a minute with Ducati. Ducati put a lot of chips on Furman.
Yeah.
Alex might be leaving at the end of this year, Gresini, to go somewhere else. But if I was gonna give Acosta some advice, I'd be like, look, man, look at the Honda route because Honda is all in. They're really developing this bike. If you can go and win on that bike and become like a staple Honda rider, you'll have a career for life. Right. Like Honda will keep you forever.
And I can see Honda picking him over Martin just based on past business experiences.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty wild, pretty wild to see. I think if I was Honda, I would keep Marini and Mir because sometimes it's the bike, sometimes it's the rider, but Quartararo, Acosta, and these other guys haven't done anything spectacular, even though they're supposed to be a little bit, better than these guys last year, 2025. When you look at the stats overall with Honda riders, so it's kind of, if you can sign a Marc Marquez, if you're Honda, I suppose you do it, right? But we've talked about Acosta. Is he a Marc Marquez or not? And I think we might be on the fence a little bit about that.
So, do you think that if Honda holds up signing Mir Marini, that affects other riders trying to get to them, like Fabio, and then making another decision?
I would say this: if I'm a MotoGP rider, as long as I'm not out of MotoGP, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, man.
But once you get out of GP, it's hard to get back in.
So, that's just me, though.
I mean, it would be a very potent team if they had. Imagine if Honda was able to scoop up Quartararo and Acosta. Even if they decided we're just going to clean house and we're just going to bring 2 new guys because next year is going to be a completely new bike. It's pretty much a new project.
Right.
Let's clean house and we're going to bring in Quartararo and Acosta, a guy that can win now and a guy that can win now and in the future. And if you can keep those 2 guys, the thing is, Honda's been able to save some money over the last couple of years because they haven't had to pay this guy that they were paying a ton of money to. So they've been able to save some cash. It's time to spend some cash.
Let me ask this question: who's a smoother rider between Acosta, Quartararo, and Bastianini?
Quattraro.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that dude is silk.
Like
because the Yamaha only goes well if you're smooth.
Right.
Like you got to be a smooth rider. If you try to wrestle that bike or fight that bike, it's not going to do what it's designed to do. That bike is built to be on rails, and you got to be a certain kind of rider to like Quartararo is smooth, man. Like you see that dude take a corner and it looks so effortless. Like the bike's not shaking, the bike's not jumping around, it's not doing anything crazy. It's just the dude just slides it right into the corner, man, and just picks it up and like, you know, again, and the only other guy that I feel is that smooth is Sideshow Bob.
Well, today I was gonna say Valentino Rossi.
Well, yeah, back in the day, but Jorge Lorenzo, you know, the reason he worked so well with the Yamaha, same thing. He was just this silky smooth rider. He wasn't getting the bike bucking and he wasn't fighting it. He was just letting it do its thing and pulling every ounce of that corner speed out of it.
Right. You know, speaking of, let's talk about 2025, man. Lewis, I'm gonna let you set it up because you wanted to talk about
2015
and
15.
2015.
At least I had a 5 in there and a 2.
So I've studied this year more than. Hold on, let me change my background here because I got to put my conspiracy background.
Oh shoot!
Okay, all
right. Here we go. Is this it?
It's all your notes.
You got notes. Listen, man.
No. I just want to make sure I got this thing working. You can see my conspiracy background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
What up?
So we're gonna. This is the conspiracy. This year is the most. It's so many adjectives can be used for this year. It's the most controversial. It's the most toxic. It's the most spoken about. Like this year caused the biggest rift in motorcycle racing. It brought a new rivalry. It brought so many different layers, and it really had to do with 2 riders, but it had to do with a bunch of riders. And it also shows I hate to say it, this is the first championship that social media really had a big impact, because on social media it became very toxic. MotoGP fandom became like Star Wars fandom, just toxic. Mm-hmm. Everybody was hating everybody. There was division. There was the Republicans and the Democrats. Like it was surreal. There was the Yellow Mist and there was the Team 93 guys. And it also went to show the power that Rossi had to manipulate fandom. His fans were on his side, and some of his fans kind of saw it a little different. And then there was this, what I felt at the time was a smaller group that was on the Marquez side. Valentino Rossi definitely had the bigger group of fans.
Bro,
you know, he had.
You talk about the Seattle with the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
Like, 2015, listening to when Rossi was cheered and then other people were introduced and it was like crickets. Like that intimidated. That has, as a rider, as a ball player, whatever. It's like, where's my mother at? Ain't nobody cheering for me.
Yeah, man.
Real, not the. It might have been the Valencia round or the Australia round or the Malaysia round. No, the Malaysia round. It was like, man, I need security to get me to my.
Yeah, I mean, it was the equivalent of this past year when Bulaga took out Top Rack.
Yeah.
And you needed to call security because it was that bad. And I hate to see that in our sport.
I would say worse, in all honesty, because it was more than one round.
Oh yeah, no, it was 3 rounds. Like Bulaga only had to deal with one weekend, and thank God Top Rack's not racing in this series anymore. Like he'll take all his crazy fans with him to GP. Yeah. I'm good. But, this was the beginning of a long, hard period of Valentino Rossi and Marc Marquez, which in a way was kind of deflating because in the first few years, Valentino Rossi made it a point to be very friendly Marquez. Mm-hmm. Because in my opinion, I feel Valentino Rossi has this thing where you keep your enemies close or your friends close, you keep your enemies closer. And even when Marquez came in, here's a rookie that won in his championship year. All right, this kid just knocked out one of my one of my goals, one of my records. He became the youngest guy to win a GP championship. All right, motherfucker. Oh, he became the first guy to win 10 wins before I won. He, so little by little, he started knocking down all these Rossi records. And Rossi was like, oh, he's my friend. He's that little fast bastard. Like, but inside, behind the facade, he really meant that shit. This is a little fast bastard. I don't really like this motherfucker, And as time went on and Marquez became more competitive, it kind of kept chipping and chipping. And this was the year, if I remember correctly, that the relationship really took a downturn because Marquez had gone to Valentino Rossi's ranch to do like his, they do a flat track race there.
Mm-hmm.
And Marquez went and beat Rossi at his ranch. And even Marquez will say that was the moment where he felt the relationship changed. Like when he went to the ranch, he was treated a little bit differently than he expected to be treated. He was a lot more competitive. Everybody was super competitive. And after that weekend, he felt the relationship soured. And then shortly after that, they had their first incident, which was Argentina, where he felt that Rossi kind of came across, took out his front tire for no apparent reason and crashed him. Mm-hmm. And then again, this just kept building throughout the season. It's like all these little things that would happen. They would bang into each other, but they would always bang into each other. But it seemed like the elbow was stuck out a little bit further, and the knee was out a little bit further, and like we banged, but damn, that bang was a little harder than they used to be. Like, and then in Assen, they had the race where like they go into the last corner and Rossi leans into him. They hit each other. Rossi runs across the dirt. Rossi wins the race and Marquez goes to protest. But they were like, it's a racing incident. It kind of happens. But again, building and building and building. And if you look through the season, Marquez really didn't have that much of an impact in the overall season because Marquez had 6 retirements. Yeah, so there was 6 races where he was irrelevant.
Yeah. And towards the end of the season, he had like 3 in like 5 races or whatever.
Yeah,
so he was out, and I was trying to figure out what Rossi said in the Thursday before the last round. That really so it's the Malaysian Grand Prix, and Rossi said something, and that's why Marquez was riding effed up. And then, Rossi, I mean, I don't know if he hit the brakes to make him go down. But Marquez was definitely slowing him down.
Well, the thing is, it was the Australian GP was the round where the big hubbub happened because at the press conference for the Malaysian GP, that's when during the pre-race press conference, out of nowhere, Rossi just drops, well, the reason that I had a bad race in Australia is because Marquez was intentionally slowing me down. Mm-hmm. And you could see Marquez's face. It's in the video. And Marquez is like a little bit stunned that, he didn't mention anything about it the entire week. And he waited until they're live in front of the press to like drop this bomb.
Right.
And this is a classic Valentino Rossi thing is put this stuff out in front of the press because now I'm going to put pressure on this other rider. I'm going to make him crack. But here's the thing. Marquez had nothing to lose, bro.
Right.
He wasn't in the championship. So guess what? You're going to throw me under the bus here? Guess I got nothing to lose.
Right. But
I'm faster than you.
He did intentionally slow him down in a Malaysian race.
Okay. Why though? Why? No. But think about it.
I'm not even going to talk about the Australian race.
Let's put it this way.
Reese or TJ to jump in.
You and me are in a press conference before the Malaysian GP. I'm Valentino Rossi. I need to do well this race because I'm only so many points behind Lorenzo. If I finish in certain points here and finish in certain points in Valencia, I'm going to win. I have a lot to lose. Right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to pick a fight with a guy that's as fast or faster than me that has nothing to lose.
I think
that's the craziest shit ever.
I don't know if Rossi was wrong, but it might have been bad for him to say something. And you can see even in the final round of Valencia where Marquez never once put Lorenzo under pressure.
But here's the thing. Why would I? I'm Marc Marquez. Why would I bother? If I beat
win the race?
If I beat Lorenzo, I'm going to give this motherfucker the championship.
Well,
the same guy that just talked shit about me the week before.
Yeah, I again. So
I
all
ain't
right,
doing shit to help him. Now, if he had said, "Man, I really wish Marquez could," if Marquez could give me a little bit of help and slow Lorenzo down, I'd really appreciate it. That's one thing. But you're gonna throw me under the bus.
I'll say this. After that happened, we've now seen a lot of Italians in MotoGP, so Rossi will have help or any other rider in the future.
No, absolutely. But I'm saying, like,
but TJ, what are your thoughts on what Lewis and I have been going back and forth with? You watch the season.
How's my conspiracy?
Is it? Rossi was the aggressor, and he probably should have chilled, or was Pedrosa, Marquez, all the other Spaniard, the Alicia Spargaro, Pola Spargaro. It was like a Spaniards in front of Rossi, bro.
I mean, there's a lot of dogs out there. I mean, just going into the last race, I know Rossi wanted the help from the Hondas at that point. Especially how Nick Harris was saying, like, he wished that Honda can look out for him after all the championships he's won. Because he threw a season away. I think he got a little big in his head. I don't know what he said on that Thursday, but that race before the Valencia, him and Marquez in their incident, I think he just threw a season away, just starting last on the grid going into the last season. Like, he had a chance.
Yeah, no, he threw away when he made Marquez go down. That's when he threw it away. I mean, all of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? If he would have just put up with Marquez, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, and then Lewis is on the track, saying, like, all the incidents that happen from the start of the season, it leads up to the end. And at this point, when you're not in the championship race, you're like, get out of my way. And I feel like Marquez is just always just a nuisance to him, where you didn't expect him always just to be front running, even though he had a couple championships. Danny Pedrosa was hurt for the first part of the season. He came the second half, and he was just started getting in the way as well. And Rossi and just Lorenzo kept getting away. Obviously, he didn't finish in first all the time, but
no, he did not.
It was a big challenge. It was a big challenge, and it was an interesting season. And one thing I know is that the rain caused a lot of problems. The rain just wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
Every race, it was just put the test to all these riders, and it just made it that much harder for the top guys, especially Rossi.
No, I completely agree. One of the things that I saw that was chilling was after the Malaysian race when Pedrosa, Rossi, and Lorenzo was hanging out back before they went on the podium. And it was just Rossi and Pedrosa talking. And I was just like, oh, yeah, that's right. Pedrosa and Lorenzo had beef where the King of Spain had to intervene to say, listen, let's break bread. So, Lorenzo was like the odd man out in that situation. So it was crazy to see. What are your thoughts, Reese, on the 2015 season? And is it Rossi's fault all the way, or was he fighting against Spain?
I mean, I don't say he's fighting against Spain. I just think it's almost like an incident, from Moto America. It's like Lewis said, you're going against somebody that's not even in the championship. So why are you worrying about him? Let him go do his own thing. Like, you don't have to go up against someone that's not even in the championship. The person that you need to focus on is the one that was up front. That's who you need to focus on and do it. I mean, it made good for viewership to see the battle. And that's like, Roger Hayden did say that in one of the podcasts. It's good to see a rivalry, and that's what everybody wants to see. I think everyone wants to see that fight, that rival, that fight in somebody to dog. So it did make good for the sport. It made everybody tune in to see what's going to happen. But there was just times where I think it was just uncalled for. I'm like, man, just let it go. And I think they still hold a grudge to this day.
Yeah. I forget who it was. I don't know if it's him and Lorenzo or him and Marquez, but I forget after I think it was a Moto3 rider that passed away. I think him and Mark I think broke bread after that. But I don't think him and Lorenzo are besties.
No. I mean, Lorenzo still to this day tries to imitate Rossi.
Yeah.
Still to the day, going to do car racing now and everything. I'm like, dude, get your own hobby.
Right. I mean, I think they're all kind of doing that. But I mean, it's easy to sit here and say, focus on what you're doing, because that is the right thing to do in any sport, because you don't want anyone to get in your head to get an advantage. But it does look a little bit not necessarily deliberate, but Marquez, when he's ready to fight, he can fight. And there's opportunities where he chose to chill, and he should have been fighting, because, I mean, yeah, you're always out of the championship, but you still should show up. And, we've heard it, saying time and time again, everybody wants to win, so we're not going to let anybody just come through. No one was letting, when Rossi started in the last place on the grid in the final round, no one let him through. Everybody was fighting with him, so we didn't see that fight from Marquez. I mean, is that...
Yeah, but like I said, man, do you want to help a guy that just talks shit and threw you under the bus out? Like, at a certain point, we're all human.
Yeah, it's
and we're all petty as shit.
Yeah,
and
I hear
guess what, man? You talk shit about me. If I have $1 million in front of me or 500 grand here, I'll give up that 500 grand and take this 500 grand as long as I know I fucked you at a 3 million.
Right, but
that's how petty I am.
But the thing is, I mean, if Rossi's in here saying, "Hey, you're already doing it first," right? It'd be one thing if he just picked a fight, but
Rossi been doing this for 20 years.
What's that?
He just talking shit. Except this is the one time that somebody could actually do something about his shit talk.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if it's a win for Marquez, because he took the L by going down. And obviously, Rossi was penalized for it, so Rossi should have been smarter. But, out of the two of them in that situation, I mean, as we say about the Rossi, fan base, it could have gone horribly differently.
But think about all the times that Rossi made other guys fold under the pressure, right?
Right.
Marquez made Rossi fold under the pressure. He pissed Rossi off so much that Rossi did what he did.
Yep.
And even though Marquez went down, who got the penalty for it? Rossi.
No, I agree.
And so Marquez just took a page out of the Valentino Rossi playbook, and I'm going to make life so difficult for this guy. I'm going to make him break mentally.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. Rossi broke from frustration,
right,
and did what he did.
Let me ask you this, right? If Marquez was to do the same things that he did then now, would he be penalized for it? Because we see guys getting penalized now.
Oh no! Now penalties for riding what is unsafe riding or cruising on the race line. Like the rules have changed dramatically since then.
Yeah.
And if you are intentionally impeding somebody, there are rules out there. Not back then there was no long lap penalty.
Right.
It was on race control.
A long lap penalty.
It was on race control whether or not they were racing. They were both still competitive. They were both actually holding each other up. Like, it got to the point where they were both cutting each other off just because they were just in their own little race, and they forgot where they were. They thought they were at a track day.
Rossi knew where he wanted to get to.
He knew where he wanted to get to, and Marquez knew where he didn't want to let him go. But they forgot there was 20 other guys out there racing in this big race.
Rossi was just like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, let's go up front and fight. Well, and that's before the incident happened.
Yeah, no. And again, this goes back to if Rossi had just kept his mouth shut that Thursday and not stirred the pot the way he thought he was going to stir the pot and break Marquez, and Marquez was going to be like, oh, I need to not impede Rossi because now people think that I'm impeding Rossi. It went the other way. He was like, oh, he thinks I'm impeding him? He ain't seen shit.
Right.
He's about to see impeding.
Right. So, I mean, again, so he has a point. It's kind of like, okay, you think I'm an asshole now? Let me show you what an asshole be like. But bro, you were being an asshole before.
Yeah, no. Now
you just became a bigger one.
That's not even. We know that. Everybody knows that. This became a pissing contest of monumental proportions. That's really what it became. But let's go back one race.
Yeah,
to Australia. There's one guy that did
a fun race to watch.
There's one guy that did something in Australia that might have also cost Rossi the championship, and this mofo has skated under the radar for close to a decade.
Who are you saying? I think I have an idea, but I'm gonna let you say.
So we all know that Rossi and Marquez were battling in second place, third place, second place, third place. Lorenzo kind of drifted away.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Marquez decided with like a few laps left in the race, I'm just going to drop the hammer. Let's see what I can do. Yeah. He passes Lorenzo. When he passed Lorenzo, he technically gave Rossi a 5 points back.
Oh, I know. I saw that.
Instead of going from a 25 point and a 16 point, it went to a 20 point and a 16 point. So now he's only 4 points behind Lorenzo. Remember, he lost the championship by 5 points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So he only 4 points behind.
Right.
And with less than one lap to go.
Yeah.
All right. Rossi's in third place. It looks like it's going to go down. Everything is working out the way it should work out. If I can finish in third place, like I'm going to be able to salvage something. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes your boy, Andrea Iannone.
Yeah.
Valentino Rossi's own boy passed him.
Right.
Took third place away from him.
Right.
And now he went from being just a few points. This guy right here, being Valentino Rossi's boy, took Rossi from 4 points all the way down to 7 points away from Lorenzo.
Right.
Remember, Rossi lost by 5 points.
Right. Yeah.
This guy right here, this motherfucker right here, quietly took his third place and was like,
hey, listen, he's also the only guy that got caught up in doping. So,
I mean, he was about to get ready for his modeling career. He's getting his surgery done. Like he just, but still, this dude right here, I think had as much impact in the overall finish of things, and people don't recognize it.
Yeah.
Marquez actually helped Rossi a little in Australia, even if he didn't mean to.
Right.
And this guy anti-helped Rossi, and this is his boy.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's one of those things where, I mean, obviously we're human beings, and we're not always going to do all the right things. And I'm not giving. I guess we're giving Marquez a little pass for his behavior, but it's I mean, you that's the whole thing about not cracking under pressure, right? Don't show up with a toupee on.
Don't show up with a toupee. You're gonna get it knocked off. I mean, you guys know this is probably one of the best seasons just of competitive motorcycling that we've had in a long time.
And that Australian round was amazing to watch. I mean, the back and forth was.
He only got out to a good start in that race.
Yeah,
I mean, he was the first couple laps. But that's not how you start; it's how you finish. But
he got hit by the seagull.
Yeah, that's the seagull race.
Seagull race.
I think my favorite race of the season was Misano. It's like I don't think we'll ever see, or I don't know if it can happen again, but going from a dry bike to a wet bike back to a dry bike.
Yeah.
And then seeing Valentino Rossi race on wet tires when he's not supposed to, dragging Lorenzo as far as he could to not ruin the championship lead and stuff like that. And he ends up crashing. Like it was a good season. That was one of my favorite races there.
There was a lot of crashes, and who else? Who as you talk about Bradley Smith getting on the podium because he gambled like I guess he's Bender before Bender. He's just like, what I got to lose?
Yeah,
and go out there on slicks.
This was the last year. I think this was also the last year for an ART bike. It was the last year for like that weird frame Kawasaki ZX motor and like a Scalix or a Suter frame. This was a year that the first year that Aprilia came back to the championship.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. Like this was overall, this was one of the most entertaining years. It sucks that it's quiet and so much controversy because it was really, really, man, like one of the most entertaining years in
Right.
MotoGP history.
You know, and that was it. That's probably the first year that the Honda was starting to go bad. Because
Yep.
you even hear Pedrosa
Yep.
just like, man, that bike is just shaking all the time. I had to use so much energy just to finish on the podium. I'm like, bro, but you're on the podium. But it was
21 spots better than I could do.
yeah, right. It's just like imagine if that bike was, you know, and it, you know, goes to show that, you know, what Mark can ride around, other riders can't, you know, with as far as how the bike feels.
Yeah, but also Mark caused that because Honda was so focused on trying to make him a bike that he liked riding that they ended up making a bike nobody could ride. Because he does have a style that is unique to himself.
Right. He's
and if you focus so much on one rider, now you make it unrideable for everybody else. Because you know, Kyle Crutchlow will tell you when he was on the Honda, nobody could ride it like Marquez. You know, all these guys that have ridden the Honda throughout the years, especially when Marquez was the A guy at Honda, they all tell you the bike was just the only guy that could make it go fast was Marquez.
I completely agree, and you know, we'll see what the future look like for Ducati if you know if they've made the right decisions or you know chasing that illustrious you know financial statement at the end of the year is worth it.
money is money.
Back that truck up.
I don't think Ducati will make the same mistakes that Honda made. I think Honda just put too many chips in on one guy. And even Honda now, I think, has realized the mistake they made. And they're making a bike that more people can ride because it's not just one guy that's doing well on the Honda. Right. You know, Zarco did well on the Honda. Mir did well on the Honda. Marini did well on the Honda. The only one that didn't do well was Chamtra.
Yeah, he was too early. He had to take that sign and sign it. Yeah. He should have stayed one more year.
But you know, this was the year we had, you know, Yanni Hernandez.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
the original YN.
The original the OG. Hector Barbara, Alvaro Bautista, Loris Bass, Stefan Brattle, Nicky Hayden, Michele. I think this was the last year Nicky Hayden was actually on MotoGP. The next year he went to World Superbike. Yeah. Piero, Eugene Laverty, which again, dude,
Salvadori.
This was like I think they had how many riders actually competed that year?
All the good riders, man. All the top guys.
Yeah. Oh, Baz, Loris Baz was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Dude, I want to say there was 36 riders that competed in that year at some point, whether it's a wild card, a one-off, a replacement rider. That's a lot of people, man.
Yeah. Haslam. Was it Haslam? Liam Haslam's there.
Nah, Haslam wasn't on here, but you still had
not Haslam. Then there's another
Carol Abraham. His daddy was still paying for him to stay.
Yeah, I think Haslam wasn't there. Liam Haslam.
Nah, I don't see Haslam.
Okay.
I see Brock Parks.
Yeah.
Damon Cudlin, Michael Laverty.
Maybe that's something. Eugene Laverty, so maybe
Eugene Laverty, Anthony West.
Yeah.
Tony
Claudio
Elias.
Cordy, Melandri, Tony Elias.
Yeah.
Tony Elias. Yeah.
It was a crazy.
Some of those guys went to Moto America too, like Tony Elias, Loris Baz.
Oh yeah. He's still in Moto America. And
Tony
Loris Baz went to World Superbike and did really well.
Yep. Tony Elias, the main thing with Tony Elias is remember, Tony Elias was the first ever Moto2 champion. And forever in the history books, he'll always be like the first Moto2 champion.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
And he, the dude leaned his entire body off the bike when the bike would just still stay straight up and down because he's so small.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of that race, was it the Malaysian race with Rossi? Yo, his corner speed was crazy. Like when he almost lost it, taking Marquez on the inside. But it was like he was laying that bike on his side, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope one day, when this new bike comes out, the 2027 bike, I hope we can get this kind of riding again, man. Because I remember, looking at some of these races, I mean, there was some races. It felt like there was like 100 passes.
Yeah. Especially with Anoni and Marquez, and when Anoni passed two riders. I think I don't know. Yep. It was Lorenzo and Rossi at the same in one corner.
Over Lukey Heights, people just dive bombing to the inside. I mean, it was crazy, man.
Now we don't get no passes. You got dirty air, can't get past, nothing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's pretty wild to see. 2015 was an amazing year, and it was last year that Lorenzo won the title, and it wasn't a gimme. When you think about Rossi's career, and how many runner-ups he had, like he had like at least 4 runner-ups, second places that he finished overall in the championship, which is crazy, and he won it, five times.
I think this was the last championship Lorenzo won also.
Yeah.
This was his last championship.
Yeah, last year I had to hear him crying.
Yeah. But I think Yamaha made that mistake when, I don't know if they knew that Lorenzo was going to be a champion in Yamaha, but they made that. I mean, we could say Rossi thought he might have been going to Formula One, but they made that mistake bringing 2 world champions in, where I go to Ducati and say, hey man, you already have a world champion here. Actually 2, oil and water don't mix.
I mean, they thought it was going to mix, but it didn't mix, man.
Yeah.
That's why I had to put that wall up.
It sucks because, I think he did one more year with Yamaha after this, and then in 2017 he went to Ducati,
right?
And then
2018,
yeah, Ducati,
and then he went to Honda for 1 year, right?
Yeah, and then he realized that only Marquez could ride that shit box, so he was gone from there too.
He jacked up his spine. Was it with Honda or Ducati?
I think he hurt himself with Ducati because he did have a lot of crashes. But then when he finally did get the parts he needed from Ducati,
that was the second half of the second year. By then he'd already signed to Honda.
Yep.
But I thought he had hurt himself with back issues, and
it was in 2018. So what was 2018? Oh, he was on the Honda at the time.
Yeah. So
he had a brake failure in Qatar.
Yeah. And then that was the last crash. He was like, you know what?
I got this big pile of money home. I'm gonna enjoy
retire.
I'm gonna go enjoy it. I'm gonna let my belly grow a little bit.
I think he might be like, is it Rolandini or whatever that Spanish, or not Spanish, but the football player that just gained a lot of weight after he stopped playing. Like
Rolandinho?
Yeah. Like Lorenzo probably put on like 40 pounds.
I don't know how many times, but he definitely packed out.
He's definitely a roly-poly now, boy.
He's like a young Danny DeVito.
He's definitely a roly-poly, boy.
Bro. I will say, though, in the last year, he did slim down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think somebody was like, yo, let me talk to you for a minute, bro. It's showing up on the TV camera. It's not the camera adding 10 pounds. It's you, son. You added 10 pounds.
It's you.
Yeah, keep wearing those sweaters and that scarf, man.
Let's take that weight out.
But man, I it's been fun reviewing these seasons because you don't really go back and look at them, and then when you do go back and look at them, you really do appreciate the stuff that happened in the past, the riders that were there, the things that we see, and then you also I also appreciate what's happening now. You learn from your past, you appreciate the present. But that was one of those years, man. It ended not well for a lot of people. You never want to see things end in this kind of championship and controversy, and it's sad that it's kind of carried over for so many years. We're going out in over a decade.
Yeah.
And, Marquez wins in Italy and people are booing him. His brother wins in Italy. They're booing his brother. Like, his brother got nothing to do with it, man. Like, he just shares the name. He wasn't even there. Like, I think the kid was in Moto3 at the time. He wasn't even in Moto3 at the time, I don't think.
You watch The Godfather. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah. No, I know, man. His family is...
you inherit that
guilty.
You inherited it, man. That's just it. You inherited that bullet.
That's it.
That's touch.
I'm hoping that as the years go on, that these two guys will kind of put it behind them, because it's toxic to carry hatred for a long time, man. Like that's just toxic in your body.
Right,
and sometimes you just kind of need to look in the mirror and be the bigger man. Say, look, man, you know what? Whatever happened between us, it happened. But someday you and me are gonna be gone, and we shouldn't go before we kind of tell each other the truth, man. Let's bury this. Let's do it publicly, man.
Okay, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to be sentimental. Give me that moment, because it don't happen too often.
Nah, I was like, yo,
you be shit talking in like 2 minutes.
I was like, is that who's talking? Like, what the heck, man?
He's like, hey, hold on.
Like the Bird era, man. Come on, the Bird era. Like, we still hate them to this day.
I was like, yo, is this a recording area?
Yo.
Like, yo, wait, Lewis is being sentimental?
I ain't gonna lie, I still hate Reggie Miller for what he used to do to my Knicks every year.
Hey, you talking about bury the hatchet? How many years was that?
Yeah, we haven't won a championship in basketball, and I don't count that mid-season champ. That's a bullshit championship, man.
No, you talking about you haven't won since Phil what you want to call it? Phil Jackson won.
No, we haven't. The Knicks haven't won
as a player.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like the Knicks hasn't won shit.
Coach, as a player, was the last time the Knicks won.
The Knicks is
he said as a player.
In Lewis terms, the Knicks is a shit box.
Listen to me. I have, in my lifetime, since I've been alive, the Knicks haven't won.
Yeah.
Right? The last time the Knicks won, I was born. So I didn't even get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
50 something years ago?
50 something years ago, man.
Yeah, man.
I hope you're not a Cowboys fan too.
Nah.
That'd be bad.
Hell nah.
I'm not a glutton for punishment.
They won in the 80s, so it's okay. You were alive.
Well, I mean, it's still a long time, but
Yeah,
it's not like the Cubs or the Red Sox. I mean, and granted, there's a long time that the Patriots didn't win, so I still remember them days too.
Sure.
It's tough to be a fan. I mean, you know what I mean? But diehard fans, they with the good times and they with the bad times, and those are the true diehard fans, and them are the people you want around you.
Well, hopefully we can reach out and get some more people to be diehard fans of motorcycle racing, because it's a fun sport. It builds a great community. You see people, getting together at the track, and there's nothing like it, man. So hopefully we can,
I think listen to us. I think we are, because sitting at the Podium Club, you've seen a bunch of people coming out from the Arizona area, and they just so I think we might get some more fans out there in that section. On the West Coast that's coming out to the Laguna.
Yeah, Podium Club is a nice track, man. And I know that area, Arizona, Scottsdale, there's a lot of people that go out that way, and that track's helping, build a nice little community out there of riders and racers, and getting a lot of street guys off the track and off the street and onto the track. This a couple of weeks ago when I was in Homestead, I had two guys from the Dallas area come down to Homestead, and they got a huge following in social media because they're known for being stunters, man. They do wheelies on the highways, they do roller racing and all this. And now they finally decided to kind of go to the track and start testing their skills more. And they're realizing you know what, man, this bike thing, we got a lot to learn.
Yeah, for sure. That tends to happen. And to touch on the fan base, what was interesting was Czech Republic had over 240,000 people that came through. So there was some huge numbers that were coming out back then. So I don't know if it's the pandemic. I don't know roughly when it started to come back down. Obviously this past year was breaking record numbers as well, but that was shocking for me to hear oh, wow.
The pandemic had a lot to do with a lot of things. Had a lot.
Yeah.
Because in sales with motorcycles and power sports, they went through the roof.
Right.
Just because people had literally nothing to do. maybe just trying to find out something to do as a family. So
Right.
So it brought new avenues.
Yeah, Bruno, the Czech Republic has always had like a pretty substantial fan base, you know, and they'll come out, rain or shine, like all of whatever, for whatever reason, man. All the European rounds do good, man. Silverstone, Bruno, Le Mans, the Italian races, the Spanish Grand Prix, like the fanaticism out there is massive. And I think here in the US, we're slowly starting to see that because year over year, we're starting to see more and more people. You know, Reese and I go to a lot of Motor America events, and some do better than others. But the one thing that we've seen steadily over the last 2-3 years is the crowds keep getting slightly bigger than the year before, and slightly. And in some places, like the jump is significant. You know, like some places like New Jersey and Road America, and like the amount of people coming out is insane. You know, even this past year, it's the first time that I've been to Laguna in a couple of years, and I was really surprised by how many people actually went to Laguna. You know, so I think if Motor America keeps doing the right things and they go to the right tracks, and you know they keep building up, like we were saying before the show started, Superbike this year is massive.
Right.
Like this is going to be the best Superbike grid that we've had. I mean, Reese, would you say in like 15 years?
Yeah. I would say this is back in the AMA days that we just.
I mean, we have potentially 10 to 13 guys that can all legitimately win, not just the same 4 or 5 guys.
Right.
And that's, you know, and there's so many teams. We got so many manufacturers. We got Ducati, we got Honda, we got Yamaha, we got BMW, you know. I mean, we're still we got Suzuki, but we know what's going to be the deal. They had Suzuki, they haven't done anything, but we got Suzuki. You know, I'd like to see Kawasaki back at some point.
Yeah.
Because that's the only OEM that's really missing. And but you know, I think this year we're going to be surprised, man. We're going to go out there, we're going to do some rounds, and you know, we're probably going to do some like on the spot. If we get together at some of the tracks, we'll do some on the spot Be Forever Cool podcast live from the track.
Oh yeah, definitely. We
just gotta get Rexy out of the chair out there. You know what I'm saying? He never. Jesus Christ.
I'm out the chair this year, man. I'm out the chair. I'm gonna be rolling down the street this year for sure. This year for sure. So we're gonna have some fun at these Motor America rounds. I'm looking forward to it. So and on that note, I think it's time to get out of here, guys. I want to thank everyone for the comments. I really appreciate all the good and the bad. I'm glad we're doing things and saying things that people want to hear and want to take the time to add their own personal experiences that they've gone through in the motorcycle community. So I think we're on the right page of what we're doing. Definitely continue to like and subscribe and follow us on all our platforms and all that beautiful stuff. My name is Rex45. It's the Be Forever Cool podcast. We got TJ with 2 Wheels and Coffee. We got the real Luis Ortega, the numbers guy. We got Reese from Attack Yamaha. Peace.
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 My boys at big time.